Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are taking another cheeky look at XRP. Specifically, a top crypto lawyer is predicting that Ripple will settle with the SEC and that free trading in the US of XRP will resume. So we're going to get into that, we'll see what's going on there. We'll have a look at the XRP chart on the daily, the 4-hourly, the 1-hourly views, see what's going on, see if there's any upside in the near future or downside correction due. So as always, if you find this video useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it, I really appreciate it, and I like to think that you guys appreciate it too. And as always, if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Chris, shall we jump on down to the desktop and take a look at what's going on here?
Yeah, let's get straight into it, Nick. I still love this project, I really do.
Absolutely. I mean, there's only really upside when you think about XRP, and I'll get into some of that stuff in a moment. But let's just have a look at this piece on the Daily Hodl, right? So a top crypto lawyer has predicted that Ripple and XRP, I say Ripple actually, I should just call it Ripple. That's my bad. But Ripple will settle with the SEC over the the lawsuit with the SEC XRP securities nonsense that's been going on since December. And basically he's saying that he's expecting that XRP will continue trading in the US once they have settled as well. So let's take a look at this, right? So Stephen Pally is sounding off on the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple, and predicts that the payments firm will settle with the regulatory body. Which is interesting because, we kind of understand it, at least at this point, that, Ripple have been trying to settle with the SEC for a while, right, Chris? And it just hasn't really come to anything.
Yeah, exactly. And in a new Twitter storm, as they've put it in this article, which I just love, the blockchain and virtual currency lawyer at Anderson Kill believes that Ripple's quick answer to the SEC complaint indicates that the payments setup wants the legal battle to end swiftly, and I can understand that. Do you, Nick?
Yeah, I do. I get it. I think if they could have settled behind closed doors, they would have done. And I think that it's just kind of got to that place now where the SEC want to make an example, but I don't think the SEC really will be making an example out of Ripple. Ultimately, there's bad things on both sides, and the SEC, in my opinion, should be more embarrassed, if anything. But here's that quote, though, right? So I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd asked for another 30 days and then filed a nearly guaranteed to be denied motion to dismiss. But they didn't. They answered within about a month. What does this mean? Unlike most defendants, they actually want a fast resolution. And yeah, they definitely do want a fast resolution. As I said, if they were, I think that they were trying to settle beforehand. I mean, they've been in discussion with the SEC for 2.5 years, which is just a bit of a slap in the face to the SEC because they've known about this for 2.5 years and haven't done their job by protecting the retail investors. So yeah, I think, as I said, there's bad things on both sides. You're going to want to settle. I think the SEC will want a win. A settlement is a win for the SEC, so I think they will eventually get at that point. They might just have to do, various shows, I guess, for a little while to get there.
Yeah, for sure. And Pally also says he believes the SEC already fully laid out its case at this early stage. Typically in civil litigation, you don't get the other side's documentation until the case has progressed for a while. Here, SEC has presumably gotten all of the documentation during the enforcement action, which is why the original complaint is so compliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's basically saying that they've got all the bad documents, right? They've got all the smoking guns that they're ever going to get from Ripple. And they've included it all in their 72-page document, right? So it was no surprise, really, at least for me, in my perspective, that Ripple would, put together that 93-page document to go back with, on the lawsuit side of things and calls the SEC out on their nonsense. Some of it is just a bit, for the hell of it, and other parts make a lot of sense, such as the knowing about it for 2.5 years and still allowing the sale of XRP to happen, knowingly letting it happen, and the fact that this lawsuit caused billions of dollars worth of damage to retail investors, the retail investors that the SEC are supposed to protect, right? So lots of nonsense that's kind of being kicked down the road, and I think you're going to see a lot of. I think it's going to get messy before it gets better. I guess, and the SEC probably haven't got anything else to really throw at it. Everything's included. It's going to be interesting. So the blockchain lawyer here adds that Ripple may have a tough time arguing that its sales of XRP should not be seen as an offering, and that's fair to be said as well. And here's the tweet, right, from Pally, where it says, ultimately, Ripple is probably going to have to admit that this is true. The non-denial denial, which is the complaint is full of, kick the can down the road, not a typical, by the way, but not winnable at the end. The SEC probably based this on evidence from the enforcement action, and you can see all these kind of clips as well. So, when Ripple settles, in his opinion, they predicts that the lawyer bets that XRP trading will be reinstated on exchanges in the US. And I do agree. I think, it's a nonsense lawsuit in itself. The SEC have caused more damage than the XRP sales have caused. So really, what is any of this nonsense actually doing for the better good? It isn't doing anything. Unless we can get clarity for XRP, nothing positive has come from this lawsuit. So let's just see what happens. I'm looking forward to the 22nd of February, and then a lot's going to happen on the 22nd, but nonetheless, I'm interested to see how it all kind of plays out to start with. And I want to see how it unfolds for sure. I haven't sold any of my XRP. I'm still super long, as Brad might say, super long on XRP. And or at least some of us are super long, Brad. Some of us are
some of us are super long. We're super long. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Like proper super long.
So what I mean, I'm going to go into the charts now, and I'm going to show you also why I expect XRP to go up regardless to whatever happens here with the SEC. But let's take a look at XRP to the USD on the daily to start with, okay? So here we can see that pump and dump that happened on the 1st of February. I'm going to call it a pump and dump. I know that people that's setting it up where calling it now, and just an example of what can happen on the XRP ledger, and actually it was just about making quick buck, I feel, from a few scammers. But nonetheless, it's there, and we can see what's happened. It did take us out of a few areas of concern, such as the 30.5 cent area. That's now no longer a problem for us. We are trading higher, which is good. So I'm going to be able to, I think it's going to be somewhere about here somewhere, aren't you? I'm going to put this line in somewhere, 30.5. Anyway, nonetheless, we are doing okay on this XRP chart since then. So we have this Fibonacci retracement from that high level and that low level there, as you can see. 1st of February is the high and the 2nd of February is the low, and we've come up recently up here. So on this particular chart, we can see that the MACD is okay. The RSI is just above 60, so not too bad. The volumes are relatively low, as to kind of be expected, because most people can't actually in the US trade XRP at the minute. So it's just the rest of the world that's able to operate. So let's take a look at this on the 4-hourly chart. This is going to show us much of the same, that sideways trading that we've experienced for such a significant amount of time since the lawsuit, right? So we were doing really, really well beforehand, and now we're just trading sideways. But the form of resistance is now acting as support on this Fibonacci level, so that's a good sign as well. We can see that we're just below 60 on this 4-hourly chart here of XRP. We can see the MACD is about to have a positive cross, and we can see the volumes are, well, they're flat. They're still flat, so potentially more trading sideways. So if we pull this down into a 1-hourly view, it shows us exactly what's going on here in a slightly more granular view. We can see what happens here when we have a little bit of volume to lift the price of XRP up. But currently the volumes are very, very flat. Positive MACD currently, and the RSI has moved from the low end here okay, of being oversold to approaching overbought here at that top end. And with that, what does that actually mean? It means that we moved from, I think, 40 cent up to about 44 cents. So we've had some significant movement here since the RSI has basically corrected that position. So that's not too bad. So it looks like trading sideways within a couple of areas is likely to continue on this particular chart. I'm just going to mark that zone there because that's an area of concern. I think it's going to probably be about there. I'm going to just leave that there for now. So we have a good area here, about 40 cent is going to be our support line. We have our current trading of 44 cent as we record this video, so that's looking pretty comfortable. And I can just pop a few of these additional lines in. We can see that we have this one here. We touch points in several different locations. This one almost touched it. We had the touches here, and most recently we're trading across it. So that's a good area as well. That comes in at 42 cent. And we also have a lot of trading up here as well on this hourly, so we can pop these in here and we can see what those upper limits are. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but we might just be bouncing in these zones for a little while until we get everything kind of corrected. So at the moment this RSI is on the high side of things, so I am kind of expecting it to cool off coming back down. With that being said, we have support here at 42 cent, so that could be an area that we cool down to, and if that doesn't hold, we have a 40 cent area as well. If we were to fall down to that 40 cent area, then we are going to be right down here again, and that allows us to move right back to the upside pretty soon. So what the trick to this whole chart really is to correct our RSI to the downside with minimal amount of damage to the price. In order to do that, the volumes have to stay steady or decrease, and yeah, the rest will take care of itself. So on the technical side here, everything looks okay for XRP. I think we're not going to see anything major until the 22nd / the 23rd of February. I think we're going to have some kind of macro event that's going to potentially boost the price if it's a positive day. And if it's a not so good day for a Ripple, then I believe the XRP price might come back down and revisiting some of these lower levels, okay, such as 35 cent, for example. So lots to think about on this XRP chart. But let's pull this up to the daily and end this thing with a little bit of positivity, Chris, because ultimately there are some positive stories here. Specifically, Chris, when we talk about what's going to happen when this whole thing comes to an end, and when this SEC nonsense does eventually finish, we're going to be left with something like this. This is the KIN chart, okay? And on the 20th of October, we had a positive movement well, basically on the 20th of October, the SEC won the case against Kick Interactive. They were the creators of the KIN token. Okay, they were found guilty of unregistered security sales, and as a result, they were fined $5 million and had to class the KIN token as a security. So this is like the worst thing that could happen, right? This is beyond what even the SEC is asking of XRP, because they are not asking for XRP to be classified as a security, so that's off the table. We know that isn't going to happen. So the worst thing that could happen possibly is that XRP gets a fine. That's the worst scenario that can happen here. So we're expecting something even better ultimately than what we saw happen here for KIN. Okay, so what did we see exactly, right? Well, we saw a price go from this low level, and I just need to zoom in to make sure I get this to the right points here, Chris, because we were down here and we got all the way up to here. So we saw 986% growth, okay, on the KIN token within, I believe it was 7 days. Let me just get my date range and put that into here as well. Actually, it was 6 days, but I'm going to call it 7 because, yeah, we'll be optimistic or not so optimistic about it, but we'll call it 7 days because I feel that's probably a little bit more just. Okay, so in 7 days, we saw that KIN token basically go up 986% after they were found guilty of unregistered security sales and the KIN token was called a security. So the worst possible thing you could think of happening to a cryptocurrency happens and it still goes up by 986%. But it doesn't end there. The story continues, right? If I pull this back down, guys, and I go ahead and bring my date range up to start with. We'll pull that over to here, and we'll go ahead and get our price range, and we'll show you what that price range looks like from that level to this level. Here, Chris, we are talking about 3,000% growth on the kin token in a total of 65 days. Okay, so in 65 days from being found guilty, it went up over 3,000%. So I'm really positive on XRP. I'm confident that it's going to go up regardless to what happens with the SEC. And for that reason, I'm super long. I'm not going to sell it.
And I am as well, Nick. You know, if anything, you know, we've actually increased our, you know, our position in XRP. You know, when it was dropping down to really, really low prices. And I do remember in the build up to the flare drop, there were a lot of people saying, I wish it would come back down. Yeah. And when it did, you know, a lot of people were selling their bags rather than accumulating. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether, you know, the same thing happens.
Absolutely. So guys, if you have found this video useful, informative, go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to think that you appreciate it too. And if by chance you're still not subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all at the next one.
Yeah, take care.